Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today what we're going to be talking about is the HJC RPHA 11. This is not the Pro. We'll talk about the Pro as well. The Pro is just the carbon version. This is the standard non-carbon, and it weighs 1450 grams, which and this is the XL, which is for 60 to 61 centimeter heads. I have a 60 centimeter head. And HJC have always suited me well. I'm actually not 100% sure of the head shape I have, because a lot of different helmets suit me, but this is kind of like a long oval, so not like a rounder head shape, which I don't know, does that make sense looking at it? I have no idea. We'll call it a little big spud head. But yeah, over the course of my time with the RPHA 11, I have covered probably 15,000 miles, which is like what, 20... I have covered that many miles, and I've also done, I think, about 6 track days total with this, which are obviously very hot and sweaty. So I do have some opinions to give, but you obviously have to wait and watch the rest of the video. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to get straight into it. We will talk about pros and cons of what I feel about this helmet and would I buy one again. There are weak points, there are strong points. But overall, I think if you are looking at HJC RPHA 11 and you want to maybe buy one while watching the very start of this video, I would say you can't go too far wrong. So yes, anyway, the helmet. You can still buy these. There is the RPHA 12 is out now with the new ECE-R 22.06 requirement, or is it 23 point? I don't know. One of the new ECE requirement, which is slightly more stringent than whatever else, the RPHA 12 does comply with that. The RPHA 11 is now technically an outdated model. You can still buy it. I bought this several years ago through Freeman's Motorcycles, who I highly recommend if you are in Ireland. Great people, and always looked after me very, very well. So, very comfortable helmet for me. Obviously, you do need to try a helmet on. Never just buy a helmet off the back of the fact that you watched a review, for instance, like this one, and said, hey, he said it was good. You do need to try a helmet on yourself. Head shape is very important with helmets, and you will find a particular head shape that does suit you. Some people will get it like my wife had it with the LS2, which always suited my head just fine, but she got a lot of pressure right here in the front of her head, which over time will give you a pressure headache if you wear it for several hours, so you don't really want to be doing that. I have never had that issue with this helmet, and I have never had issues with the LS2s. I seem to have quite a flexible head, which might explain a lot. You know, maybe my head is just a big mushy ball and I'm stupid. Another pro for this is I do actually know 2 people who are important to me, one of whom had a pretty bad accident and one of whom had not such a bad accident. Both of them did hit their heads. Actually, the less bad accident, I think, hit their head slightly harder, and both are absolutely fine today. So the helmet does work in a crash, which is unsurprising. It is a HJC. They're a very, very, very good brand and have been around for a while. The RPHA 11 isn't exactly like top of the range. It does fall in kind of their mid-range. Obviously their commuter series, which I have done a video on an FGST before, which is a much older helmet now. But this does fall kind of into the middle of the pack. Helmets, HJCs obviously don't go too crazy expensive. Obviously if you wanted to step up to the RPHA 11 Pro, that is the one with the carbone. From a quick Google online earlier, I can see you can still buy these right now for like $300-ish. I think I paid slightly more than that in Freeman's. Seamus did give me a little discount for working with them, but obviously I've worn this on my head in situations that require safety equipment. I don't think anyone would ever... Let me correct myself. People really shouldn't shill helmets, but some people do. I would never shill a helmet because it could kill someone, so I'm not going to do that. I have a lot of faith in HJC. This is my 3rd HJC now. And the reason I'm making this review is I am considering getting a new daily helmet. Not because this one isn't good anymore, it's just, we'll talk about the cons very soon. And that will become apparent. Other pros, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I have always liked this helmet. I'll pop it on real quick. Since I bought it, I've been very, very happy with it. But that is how it looks, if you can still hear me on the head. And I do like it. This obviously this did come with the double D-ring. I am a bigger fan of double D-ring than micrometric, and I've never used Fidlock, so I can't comment on that. That's the Ruroc magnetic-y one. I've only ever used either a micrometric strap or a double D-ring strap. Another pro is it does have pretty good airflow. That is a con as well that we'll talk about. I can talk about it now. So you do have these two vents up here, which, just focus on the helmet here please, camera, which you can open and close with lots of little adjustments. You can probably hear those adjustments. You have the two of those. You have a forehead one here, which you can slide open and closed. You have your actual out vent back up here. And then you do also have a chin vent right here, which is, in my opinion, the failing. If you look in here, which might be difficult, there's not much airflow up onto the visor, and I did notice even on track days, because I always use the tinted visor on track days, I was getting some fogging up when I started breathing a bit heavier and whatnot. I did see on the Orpha 12 when I looked at that in person in a store that mouth vent, or the vent area that gets up onto your visor, is much bigger now. I don't know, was that intentional from feedback of fogging issues? I do not have here's a clear visor, a pin lock. I do not have a pin lock on my tinted visor. I only put a pin lock on the clear visor because that's what I use in rain. And yeah, I mean, other good things, it is very easy to change the visor, which we'll run through in a sec. Another thing, these two vents here, this one here and this one here, they cannot be closed. So when it rains, you do get some water spitting into your mouth if it's a lot of rain. That has happened a few times. And also if you happen to use your helmet to vlog, no, this helmet's super loud. You have to tape over the back of these, which as soon as the tape lifts a bit in rain, it starts to get into your mouth and it's really annoying. Which is honestly one of the reasons I am looking at probably getting a new daily helmet, just so I can vlog a bit better for people to make it more quiet. Because at the moment I can't vlog on my commute because it's higher speed and sounds dreadful. So you'll see right now over the screen, hopefully in a second, me changing out this visor, but it's really easy. So you just push the visor up the whole way, pull this clip, that's that side out, and then you pull the same clip over here, and that's the visor out. And just to show you I'm not cheating, and I will do a close-up, I'll play it after this. This is the clear visor, and again, you just kind of, and I can't even see this well. I can't see, this is the problem, I'm trying to show you. You know, you're just gonna have to see it when I put it down on the bench. Hold on, maybe this one will show you better. So then you literally just push them in, they snap into place, and that's it, done. Michael Dunlop might have maybe think about switching to HJC. Yeah, we won't, it's too fresh, Absolutely gutted for Michael Dunlop, by the way. That is the helmet then without the visor, and again, I'm just gonna pop this back on, this tinted one back on, because I'll probably use this if it doesn't rain tomorrow. A con about the visor is this. These ratchet positions are super loose. So basically the only way you can really wear this helmet is visor fully open or visor like right here, which, you know, is fine in the real world, and then obviously closed. And I'll show you the closed position in a sec. In the real world, sometimes you want to ride with it like here or here because it's, you know, you're in slow moving traffic or it's raining and you can't see. You need to be able to pick your positions, and it has the ratcheting positions, but like they're super loose. It's like, I should not be able to do that in my opinion. And I wouldn't mind if the ratchet mechanism was worn, because obviously I've had this helmet a long time, but it's not worn. It's been like that from day one, and that is one of my biggest pet peeves with this helmet, is that ratchet system. That ratchet system and these mouth vents here, that I understand them being always open, but unfortunately the fact of the matter is they don't actually work that well, because you still do get the visor fogging up. And I mean on track days in beautiful sunshine, it's still fogged up. Now that was in Ireland where obviously we have a little bit more humidity or whatever else, but even still, never had that issue on any other helmet that I've used. And I have since swapped to a different helmet for track days, only with a dark visor that I'll show you at some point. But obviously I like to really test things before I do a review on them. Any other cons to mention? I don't think so. The helmet's held up really, really well. You know, it gets left in my side cases on the V-Strom every day at work. It hasn't scratched up. The sun over here is very strong and the color hasn't faded. Overall, really, really happy with the fit and finish. Definitely held up better than my FGST. And the interior of the helmet, now, take from this what you will. Maybe I'm just not a very sweaty person, but I have never once washed this. I have used spray cleaners and stuff, just like deodorizing ones. I have never, ever, ever in like 15,000 plus miles removed the interior pads to wash them. They are easy to remove if you want to remove them, kind of pretty standard, the usual just pull out clips and whatnot. I've obviously removed everything to fit like the Cardo and whatnot before. Really, really easy to remove if you do want to remove the helmet liners. Very easy to do. And I mean, that's these interior pads lasting with my Irish head in it in like 30 degrees Celsius or 80s and high 90s here, 30 plus degrees Celsius, riding this to work and whatnot. I did sweat, but it doesn't even smell bad. I mean, maybe I'm just immune to my own smell, but I've been very impressed with how this helmet has held up. It's seen rain, it's seen sweat, I handle my stuff pretty well, so I mean, maybe that's why it has worn a little bit better. The only thing that's falling off is the emergency pull sticker on this side is coming away, and this one is also starting. Not a big deal, not a big deal at all. But yeah, overall, like I said, very, very impressed. I know people in the past have had issues with these on the FGST. I found out after I made that review that these pulled away, but these have been like very solid. Literally nothing's rattling, nothing's squeaking. A very, very good helmet. So to recap really quickly, pros, it looks great. Pretty affordable for a mid-range, good, solid, kind of do-everything helmet. There is a difference between the Orsa 11, which is technically designed to be used with fairings, I believe, and then the Orsa 70, I think it is, that's designed to be used on a naked bike. Looking back, I did buy this primarily at the time for use at the Gixxer. Highway speeds, as they call it over here, or motorway speeds for sane people at home in Ireland. It's good, very good on the track. It's very good at low speed. Noise and everything else wise. The only thing obviously is this stuff, and also these mouth vents that cannot be closed in rain. Those are two of the big cons. The visor ratcheting system being the worst. It even feels kind of cheap. Overall, would I recommend this helmet? Yes, I would. If you're on a more of a budget and you see one for sale because they're aging them out and they're the old spec of helmet, absolutely worth picking up as a daily. Obviously, helmets do have a shelf life. You can check the shelf life usually on a sticker underneath the comfort lining, which I'll try to get a little clip of up on the screen now on this one. Usually 5 years is the kind of the recommended lifespan, but I have talked to lots of people, people who work in the helmet industry, and they say it's absolutely fine to use them longer. I will plan on using this longer than 5 years once it's not damaged. I do replace a helmet if it gets a drop though. Absolutely do replace a helmet if it gets a drop. And because I ride my bike so much, I usually try to keep at least 2 helmets in the house for myself, because it would really suck to be off a bike just because you don't have a helmet available. So I pick one up. Like my other helmet that I use on the track is technically too old if I was going racing or whatever else, but it's absolutely fine to use, in my opinion, and people I've talked to, I'm comfortable using it. However, if you want to stick within the rules, do check the age of your helmet, which, like I said, I'll try put a photo of that up on the screen now. But yeah, overall, like I said, really, really impressed with this helmet. It has been super comfortable. Other than the minor fogging issues on track and whatnot, they are few and far between. I don't want to make it sound like it's all the time. It was literally like on a hot day and I was breathing very heavily after, or at the last lap of the session, it might fog up a bit. It does not do that on a day-to-day basis over here in North Carolina, riding in and out to work, and I do run the tinted visor with no pin lock. So yeah, overall I would give, you know, from a comfort, price, looks, an 8 out of 10. Obviously on safety, they all pass the same safety ratings. Really, it's not really a good measure if it's a good or a bad helmet. One thing that I personally do stick to is the brand. Obviously HJC are a world recognized brand that sell helmets and racing and whatnot. So it's kind of the cost of good business is what I put it down to. Is it takes a second to lose a reputation. So generally brands that kind of rely on that usually put out good stuff, because no one wants a photo of a HJC cracked into 10,000 pieces because someone took a fall off their bike at 2 miles an hour and we're like, that wouldn't have been good at higher speeds, stuff like that. So yeah, I do generally go for helmets that are used in racing. That's just my personal preference. But obviously you can check other things, like actual safety tests. Billy's crash helmets and stuff online also do good stuff. But yeah, if you were looking at an Orpha 11 and you decide to buy one after this video, do please let me know. Always interested to hear people's feedback. Or if you watch this and decided not to buy it because of this video, then let me know why you decided as such. Yeah, any questions at all on this helmet, please do let me know down in the comments. I have been asked to make this video quite a few times. Obviously my helmet is very visible on the channel, and yes, I am aware of that, and I do always answer people and say I will make one once I pass a certain threshold. Well passed on this one. Very happy I spent the money on this helmet. Would I buy it? If I could go back in time, knowing everything I know now, would I buy it again? Yes, absolutely. I think other than the minor annoyances aside, I did not buy this helmet as a vlogger helmet, say. So it's primarily a bike helmet, because most of the time I ride my bike, I'm not recording. So yeah, really happy with it. Really happy with it. So what do you think of the helmet? Let me know down in the comments. I personally really like this color pattern as well. It's I like a flash of actual bright color, but not too much. That's a lie. I would totally have the most flamboyant helmet out there if I could. My next daily helmet will hopefully be slightly more flamboyant than this one, but we'll see what we can get our hands on. And yeah, if you watch, thank you very much for watching. Any questions, like I said, please do leave them down in the comments. If I've missed anything or whatever else, do feel free to fill in some information. One thing I will check, one thing I did want to check, I actually meant to put in the video earlier, but you'll get it now, is the Sharp rating on this helmet is a 3 out of 5 stars, which 3 out of 5 is pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen many 5 out of 5s. You can obviously look that up and go for just a 5 out of 5 Sharp rating. From my American friends, Sharp is a UK company that do their own ratings on crash helmets. For the reason that pretty much anyone who wants to can pass the ECE ratings. The newer one is slightly more stringent, but the older, the ECE 22.05 is, I mean, really bad helmets pass that particular rating, so it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, if you've watched, thank you very much for watching. Questions, comments, and yeah, a special thank you as always to all of my patrons. I really do appreciate all of your support. Work has been crazy recently, so catching up on all the videos I want to make for sure. And yeah, until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. What is your favorite helmet ever? Let me know. I would love a Shoei. I can't afford a Shoei. I would really like one of the more kind of crazy color scheme Shoeis. But what's your favorite helmet that you've ever had, and what is your favorite helmet brand? I would not currently buy a Ruroc. I'm not saying I'd never try one. I know a lot of people like them, but I don't know. If it was me dropping that kind of money, I think I'd go for like a higher end HJC or a Shoei or an Arai. I like all of those helmets, how they look as well, just because, growing up watching them in racing. So I think that's probably a big part of it. I wouldn't be against trying a Shark either. They're good helmets. So yeah, let me know what's your favorite. Bye, Outro crew.